It's that time again. Galvanized Gauntlet is here. This is the Potato.tf summer event. Okay, it's a pretty close call, but it's still technically summer, so yeah, we can call this a summer event still. And with this, of course, comes a charity being alongside this event, this time for direct relief. So again, if you can, please donate via Potato.tf donation link, which I will provide in the description. You can donate with cash or items. There are also medals for donating. If you donate $5, you get 1 medal. If you donate $15, you get 2 medals. And if you donate $25, you get 3 medals. You can donate with cash or items. And a reminder, if you donate with cash, you need to provide your Steam ID, which you can get by going to Steam Community, going to your Steam profile and just grabbing it there. Make sure to provide that if you are donating with cash, otherwise they cannot send you your medals. If you do forget to send your Steam ID, it's okay. You can join the Potato.tf Discord, which they have on their website. You can get in contact with them to help them sort out your medal situation, to hopefully get your medals you donate with cash. Of course, if you donate through Scrap.tf, they already get your Steam ID through the donation, so you don't have to give them your Steam ID. Your medals will be added automatically in due time. With the actual event itself, at the time of the recording, there are currently 35 missions overall to play, 4 intermediate, 22 advanced, and 9 expert missions all to play. As well as this, completing 12 missions, no matter the difficulty, will earn you a medal as well. So if you want to do just intermediate and advanced missions, you can, just as long as you complete 12 of them, you can get the medal. But you should be very quick with this, as this event isn't lasting too long. The event ends on October 1st, 2023, so get on while you can and earn those medals. Now, for the whole missions itself, I haven't played every single mission at the time of recording this, but I have played the majority of them. So, what do I think of this operation or tour overall? This tour has been very refreshing, honestly, when it comes to the other Potato.tf tours we've had. Now, Potato.tf in more recent times have been trying a lot of new things out. They've been adding more custom weapons, custom upgrades, the whole shebang. Even making it so one of the tours you were actually the robots yourself. You were playing as the robots. And while I appreciate that type of stuff, it also kind of overwhelmed me a lot with all these gimmicks they kept doing. I just wanted Potato.tf to do like a pure, just normal feeling community tour. And well, I gotta say, this new tour is a very good blend of both mixing in gimmicks they've done in the past, while also mixing in just feeling like a classic MVM tour. Now, there are 4 maps I haven't seen before that have been in this current operation. Now, I'm not going to say they are new maps, because they might have been in older operations or older tours from Potato.tf. It's just that I haven't played them personally, but the 4 maps that I haven't played before that I got to play in this tour were Bronix, Lotus, Humebridge, and Saxroad. And honestly, if I pronounce those names wrong, I am sorry. I am terrible with names, but hopefully I pronounced them all right. But yeah, I haven't played those maps before. I'm playing on all 4 of them. I've got to say, they were pretty good maps. I think the weakest one was Bronix. It was kind of the most dull one out of them all, but it was still a fun map to play on. But my favorite one has to be Humebridge, because Humebridge kind of actually reminded me where I live myself. Because, you know, it just kind of looks like an area I would actually see in real life in the UK, as Humebridge and Saxroad were, you know, kind of based around the UK. There are also some old maps I haven't seen for quite a while in an MVM community tour. Hooverdam and Frostwind are through maps that I strongly remember back from like 2018, 2019 community MVM stuff. And seeing them again kind of was shocking, but a bit nice. Hoover Dam, less so. Hoover Dam really feels like the hydro of MVM, right next to the Doppler. But yeah, seeing Frostwind was kind of surprising, knowing that there was a guaranteed medieval mission, as Frostwood is normally used for medieval MVM. So yeah, it was kind of nice to see those return. As well as this, they got, again, the custom weapons and some upgrades, and I tried some of them out, which I normally don't do, and I gotta say, a lot of them were actually very fun. My favorite upgrade they did, actually, was for the sticky bomb launcher, where it allowed you to actually stick the bombs to the robots. So you could actually shoot stickies onto the bots, and they could walk into a crowd of other bots, and you could just blow them up with the stickies following on them. That was really, really fun to do. And the footage you're seeing here is before the nerf. They did actually update it and change it to now it has -3 stickies active instead of -2. So instead of having 6 stickies, you can only have 5, which is a real shame, honestly. I kind of liked it with the 6 stickies, but maybe it was too good or something. But I thought it was kind of fine, so I'm kind of sad they did nerf it, but it's still fun to use. Generally, again, all of the custom upgrades were a lot of fun, as well as like weapons that were basically custom weapons, but also upgrades at the same time. For example, there was a mission where the Force of Nature had a change to it where it no longer dealt knockback to you or the robots, but it did 35% more damage to giants, and you know, stuff like that is pretty cool to see, honestly. There was also one where there was a minigun where you didn't have damage fall up, but you didn't have damage ramp up either, which is interesting. Not all of them worked. I thought that one was kind of weak, honestly, but you know, trying new things is always nice. As well with the custom weapons, some of the custom weapons we got were very interesting, and I clearly had a favorite, as you can see with the footage I recorded. The PhD Jumper. Oh my god, I want to keep seeing this in new MVM events, because this weapon is so much fun. It might be a little bit busted, honestly, maybe not, but it was so much fun to use. It generally just jumping around and then landing, causing a big explosion, and the longer you're in the air, the more damage you do. It was just, it was so much fun. I generally used it any opportunity I got. It was so much fun, I actually forgot to try some of the other weapons out. I did see some of the other weapons, like there's one where Heavy gets like a rotating shield around him, which is actually pretty cool as well. But yeah, oh my god, these like custom weapons and upgrades, a lot of these were really fun, which is surprising because in the past I very disliked a lot of the custom upgrades and weapons, but these ones were just so much fun to use this time around. I don't know if they are old ones taken from old tours, but if they are, well, I missed out because these were a lot of fun. Now, most of the missions as well also feel very different and unique to each other. A lot of them have their own little gimmicks that make them stand out, and a lot of them introduced a lot of new things that I kind of want to see more of. For example, one of my favorite things they actually added was teleporting robots. So, in some areas of the map, there would be cases where robots would, you know, just teleport in instead of coming from the normal, like, entrances they normally have set up. They'd just teleport behind the lines and all that. So if the bomb was actually behind you, there's a risk of robots teleporting from behind and grabbing that bomb and actually deploying it without you noticing, which actually did happen with the group I was playing with a little bit. So that was actually a really interesting concept, and I'm kind of glad that was added because, well, it makes it more interesting. It adds more uniqueness to the missions and the maps overall, having different robot spawns. There was even a map where air support would actually come in and, you know, basically it would rain down like bombs. It would add new teleporter spots for robots to teleport in. And there was even one at the end where they were carrying tanks and you actually had to fly up to go deal with the tanks. And if you dealt with all three of them, the blimp would actually come burning and crashing down. Very spectacle, I will say. Very cinematic for tier 2 standards at least. But honestly, very welcome to see. Stuff like this is what makes MVM interesting to me to come back to when it comes to community content. Just seeing the crazy things that the community can come up with and get away with truly is outstanding. Now, there were some gimmicks that I didn't really like. For example, there was one mission where grey bots would spawn, where they would attack both the red team and the robots. Now, as a concept, that sounds pretty nice, and it sounds really cool, but playing the actual mission with them, they kind of just felt like extra robots to destroy. They didn't really feel like they ever really attacked the other robots. They always just felt like they aggroed on you, so they just felt like extra blue bots that would just infinitely spawn. There were some cases where I did see them attack the blue robots, but they were very far between. They mostly do just focus on the players, which I don't know if that's because of just how they're programmed, but I get the idea they were going for, but it just kind of didn't really work in my eyes. Maybe on a different map, or even in a smaller quantity, they might be a bit better. It might actually, you know, it might work a bit better. Maybe even getting rid of the small ones completely and just having more medium to giant robots spawn in. I don't know. Again, it's a nice concept, but on the map we played it on and the mission we played, it just kind of didn't work for me. It just didn't feel like they made that much of an impact at all, really. They just felt like extra robots to shoot at. Not everything clicked with me with the whole tour, the stuff they introduced, but honestly, the fact there is so much different things in this tour, they all feel different to each other, different concepts and all that. Overall, it does, you know, make this probably the most refreshing MVM community tour we've had in a long while. Like, even in this stuff I have a bit of a negative reaction to, I think overall it's for the better that way, because, again, experimenting like this and trying new things like this is what makes these community MVM tours fun. It's so easy to just make every mission feel like a typical 2 Cities or Gear Grinder or Mecha Engine, but adding new stuff like this makes it stand out and makes it worth trying out than just, you know, going to your 2 Cities. Because, you know, yeah, 2 Cities might give you loot, and all this does is give you a single medal, but you don't get the spectacle. You don't get something new to try when you play 2 Cities over and over and over again. With the community MVM events, it always feels like there's something new they try. Not every community MVM event has to be like this, where they constantly have to throw different ideas to keep things interesting. But a lot of things from this event I kind of hope to keep seeing in the future, like just in the future Potato.tf events. Like the unstable mods that are part of the upgrades. There's not many missions that actually have them, but the missions that do have them have to be some of my favorite missions. Just trying out all these different unstable mods or even stabled mods to improve certain weapons is just kind of cool. Like, I'm really happy to just see some of these actually be really fun. They take like existing weapons and rather make them slightly better, or, you know, take a concept of a weapon and just like twist it a bit to make it something different. There's also unstable mods for all the classes. I've already went over the ones for stickies for demo. There is a page that goes over all the modifiers you can get, these upgrades I should say. So if you want to have a look at them yourself, I'll link that in the description as well. But yeah, I honestly kind of want these to be, you know, a common occurrence for Potato.tf, especially if there's plan to add more in the future. These were a lot of fun, and another thing I want to see stay as well is also just the existing weapons, but changing how they function in MVM as well. For example, again, the Force of Nature, the one that removes the knockback but makes you deal more damage to giants. Yeah, that's really nice, and all the other ones that were there too as well were kind of unique and fun to use. Even if they're not the best, they are really fun to use, so I really hope this does become a bit more the standard going forward for Potato.tf. Having these weapon unstable mods, they were just really fun, and also these just upgraded weapons that, you know, change the function of weapon just a little bit. So yeah, overall, this is a very refreshing tour or operation, whatever you want to call it. It feels like a good blend of taking the classic MVM, if you just want to play normal MVM, ignore the unstable mods or custom weapons, you easily can and still have fun, as well as just, you know, having some missions be a bit more, you know, a bit more crazy with that concept, but also still feeling like, you know, they could fit in MVM. Not every mission feels like this. Like, there's one on Rottenberg where everyone has to play Scout, and honestly, it's like, it's a bit more memey, like a bit more like a meme versus machine thing, but it's still a lot of fun, and honestly, I like that, having a good blend of some missions that are just there to be fun, while others are there to be a bit more like a actual mission you could possibly see in an actual official tour. So yeah, this is probably the most refreshing operation and community MVM event we've gotten in quite a long while. I still think Canteen Crashes and Madness vs. Machine are the best community MVM events we had. Will we ever get those types of community MVM events back with contracts and all that? I'm not too sure, but if we're never going to get those back, or at least not get them back for a while, if this is the new standard, with them just basically offering some missions that feel like classic MVM, while offering some new missions that add new things like, again, stable, unstable mods, custom weapons, custom stats, and all that, then yeah, I think MVM, community MVM specifically, will be in a very good spot for quite a while, and I hope that the people at both Moonlight.tf and Potato.tf just keep up the great work of creating these amazing MVM tours. They are always so much fun to play. It also gets so many people I know who don't really play MVM to actually play MVM. So overall, I think this is a great operation, and I can't wait to see what Potato.tf have in store next with their next operation, whenever that happens. So that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.